Labor laws in India are a group of laws which basically govern the employee-employee relationship or the employment conditions. There is no specific law with the name the Labor Law Act or the Labor Law kind of thing, but it's a group of laws, multiple laws, which we call them as labor laws. Sometimes certain laws are included in that group, sometimes they are not. So we would say when we are talking about labor laws, any law which you feel is governing the employer-employee relationship or the terms and conditions of work, that we should consider in that labor law as of today and for today's discussion. So any labor law would basically require certain expectations from the parties involved, and most of them are having an expectation from the employer or the organization. So let's talk a little bit about how to ensure that compliance is there. The first and the foremost things, the laws are fairly transparent in terms of the expectations of the organization. They're not complex, but yes, they are fairly detailed, and they have certain expectations that can be met or can be delivered. Let's not talk about the corruption angle, but otherwise, if an organization really wants, you can look at all of the things that the labor law expects an organization to deliver, and they are reasonably expected things to be done for a fair workplace to be existing. So the first thing that any labor law would expect an organization to do is, I want you to do certain things which are to be delivered to employees or people working, which could involve talk about hygiene, which would talk about safety measures, which would talk about ventilation, and which would talk about certain terms and conditions of work. You know, when you can hire, how you can hire, when you can fire, what kind of salary you can pay, what kind of work area you need to give them, and those kind of things. So there's an expectation that you need to do these 10, 15, 20 things. That is one. So as an organization, you need to understand those things, that okay, this is what is expected by this law, this is what I need to do as an organization, I need to deliver on, and then actually have a checklist and deliver on them. Normally you will have your human resource functions delivering on whatever is required by the labor laws. Second aspect is, some of these laws expect you to educate the employees and spread awareness about these laws. So you would have expectations of running training programs, putting up posters, putting up the laws, or putting up extracts. Again, this is an expectation which is normally delivered by your human resource experts, okay, or your human resource departments. The third is where the government or the bodies which are responsible for ensuring compliance to these laws expects an organization to submit proof to the government that you actually did what I told you to do, which would be in the form of filling certain forms and submitting to the government at whatever frequency they want. So they would have certain structure or templates in which you will have to maintain these forms. You would have certain timelines in which you will have to deposit those forms, and you will have certain way of telling the government, you had asked me to do this, I have done it. You had asked me to spread awareness and education, I have done this. And now here is the proof that I am submitting to you. These are the three key expectations that any labor law would have. How do we ensure that we are compliant to labor laws? One, by ensuring that you have a system of checking. And how do we check? By having pure and simple human resource audits. If as an organization you're not having HR audits for more than once in 2 years, you are obviously not ensuring that you're putting in efforts to run your human resource function in a proper fashion. Is an HR audit a necessity by law? No, it is not. But a lot of times your OEM suppliers, your main organizations where you may be delivering to would have this, because it is a basic necessity that you are ensuring that whatever the law says we are following. So that is how you manage that.